Okay, I guess there's been over 1 billion hits on all the social media pages talking about the Idaho 4, the Moscow murders, and the suspect's name being brought up. There's a lot of theories out there, a lot of thoughts out there without a lot of proof. We've got the information we have from the courts, from the law enforcement agencies that's been conducting the investigation. That's all we have for facts. People say that they've talked to so and so and they got all this information from a person close to the investigation. I've mentioned this before in a couple of my other videos that anybody who says they're close to the investigation, they have nothing to do with the investigation. Uh, if they were, they would take a chance of losing their jobs and possibly being criminally charged for disobeying court order. So one of the things I want to bring up, I brought this up before about DM and the drug accusations. Now, people can think that. People can put these things together and kind of get an idea and maybe work that into their thoughts if they think it's true. But let me ask this question just to make you think a little bit. If she is such a drug queen of the Northwest and she's supplying drugs to so many people there and she has that power, and we mentioned, people are saying that she has FBI agents and police chiefs and judges in her pocket. Let's just take this into consideration. The suspect was supposed to be a drug addict who would go to her and get his drugs. And this evening he went there either on her order. This is suspicion. This is what people are saying. Either went there on her order, and when he got in the residence, it got out of control, and he ended up killing 4 people. Or it was a setup for him to just come there and automatically kill 4 people. She had hired him to do this. And then the next day, she waits for hours before she calls law enforcement, but she calls a bunch of friends over from different fraternities and different places around campus and called these people in to clean it up. She has all these people in her pocket that's able to come in that residence and clean it up after having 4 young lives taken in the way that they were, and the crime scene being a brutal crime scene. They would go in that residence and clean up all the drugs, all the paraphernalia, all the residue. I can tell you this much. I've been in homes. I've been in meth labs. I have been in cars that have drugs in it. I have been in fields. I have been in barns. You name the place, I've been in it that has had drugs, drug paraphernalia, small amounts and large amounts. And I don't care how much cleaning they do, they have never cleaned it all up. We have always found some type of narcotic, some type of residue, some type of paraphernalia that would tie drugs to that place. Always. So I don't see how she could clean that place up amongst a crime scene that horrific and get all the drugs cleaned out of there without a skip and a beat. Just a thought, just for you to think about this. The other thing to think about is what a feather in the cap of a young cop going to a scene like this, finding narcotics, getting her connected with the suspect, shutting down a major drug operation in the Northwest. Because if she's that big, having FBI agents and judges and police officers in her pocket, he would be able to shut this down. And imagine the feather in his cap. I don't care if it's an FBI agent. I don't care if it's a deputy. I don't care if it's a city police officer or a state police officer that did this. I know a lot of police officers in this state, and I don't know anyone that would cover something like this up. If they had a chance to take somebody like this down, think about it. Just put it all together and think about that. What a feather in his cap, or her cap, if they shut this whole thing down. They would have a major drug operator. They would have a murderer and everything all wrapped up nice and neat. And I would guarantee that I've seen this time and time again. That you arrest a drug dealer or you arrest a drug user, they will flip on whoever they possibly can flip on to lighten their sentence. Everyone. It's not the movies. They will flip on each other without a problem. So I just wanted to throw that at you tonight. I wanted you to just take this because we don't have a lot of information right now, not being passed around because of the courts. So just take that and run with it. Think what you think about it. Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you like the content of this stuff, just hit subscribe and we'll keep these videos going. Again, I'm not out here make anything for myself. I want people to be safe, and I want people to think about their own security, because remember, we are our own first responders. With that said, I always like to leave with some type of self-defense, some type of thought process for you to go through. What weapon is... I taught a class today on AR-15s with a bunch of ladies that aren't used to that weapon. And we worked on residential clearing and deployment of that firearm if they actually had to use it if somebody broke into their home. And we were talking about things today, and the one question brought up that I asked each one of them is, what is the perfect weapon for a woman for self-defense? And they looked at me like, well, it would be a smaller gun, or it would be a knife, or, and I'm like, it's going to be the same weapon for a man. It's what you're going to carry. It's what you're going to practice with. It's what you want. It's what you morally, ethically, legally can have. It's what you're going to train with. The perfect weapon is the one that you're going to pick that's going to fit you. If it's from oleoresin capsicum, which is pepper spray, to a taser, to a knife, to a straight stick, to a firearm, it's what you're legally allowed to carry. It's what you decide to carry, and it's what you decide to train with. I had a comment in one of my things really quick, and I'll close this up, but I had a comment about, is this really my solution? Is this really my idea to make people paranoid, make people think, and make people worry, and make people be more aware of their surroundings, and be able to react and not take things for granted anymore, not look at somebody and say, well, they're just expressing themselves, we have to be more paranoid. That's not my goal. My goal is to make you more comfortable because you are aware. You're paying attention to things around you, and you have a tool or a group of tools that you've decided to train with that you want to use to protect yourself, because you are your own first responder. You are the one you can count on. You are the person to take care of you. Don't count on anybody else to take care of you. You have loved ones. You have people who care for you. You have people who do care about you. But sometimes they can't be there all the time. So it's up to you to take care of yourself. So the number one best weapon for a woman or for a man is the same. It's the tool you're going to use. If you want to use a firearm, by all means. But remember, when you go out and buy a gun and you put it in a holster, you throw it on your hip and you walk out of the store, you're not Wyatt Earp. You have to train with it and practice with it. You have to know the laws. You have to know what you can and can't do, when you can and can't use it. Same with a knife. Same with a straight stick. Same with chemical sprays. Same with any other tool you're going to deploy to save yourself. It's what you're going to use. So I'm not going to ramble anymore. I'm going to leave this with you. But like I said, if you enjoy the content that we're putting out there, hit subscribe and hit like, and ask me some questions. I try to get back with as many as I possibly can, but I can't get to all of them, so I'm not ignoring you if I don't get to you. But please ask me questions. If you have a concern or a question about self-defense or anything like that, ask. Let me know. If I don't know it, I have a lot of friends. I have a lot of people I do know that do know the answer. So I will find the answer for you. So thank you. Be safe. Stay vigilant. And have a great night.